Back to Human Resources for the People. Today we're going to be talking about the end of at will in New York City. There's a new bill coming through New York City that would prohibit discharge of employees without just cause. So let's talk about it. There are 7 tests in just cause analysis, and we'll go over them quite briefly. I'll do a whole video on this in the future. But the 7 tests in just cause analysis are: was the employee forewarned of their consequences or their actions? Are the employer's rules reasonably related to business efficacy and performance? Was an effort made to determine whether or not the employee was guilty? Was the investigation conducted fairly and objectively? Did the employer obtain substantial evidence of the employee's guilt? Were the rules applied fairly and without discrimination? And was the degree of discipline reasonably related to the seriousness of the employee's offense? So, considering all this, what are we talking about today? Well, the state of New York wants to apply just cause and, as a result, remove at will from employments in the city of New York. In 2021, New York City ended employment at will in the fast food industry alone, with the enactment of a law that requires just cause. So, all the discussions that I had earlier with respect to the 7 tests, as well as a bona fide economic reason. So, if the business is going out of business, then employers can terminate employees, but they can't hire anyone new. But obviously, ever since then, employers in other industries are curious if they're going to be targeted next. And surprise, they are. A log circulating through the New York City government, uh, under the proposed legislation, anyone alleging a violation of the law may bring an administrative proceeding to their challenge their discharge, and the employee would be put back into the position if they did file this. Um, so it's again, it would be past fast food. It would be all of the businesses in New York City would be subject to a just cause analysis for every termination. Now, if I had to imagine, and I've never worked in New York City, I don't really want to, but if I had to imagine, most employers are pretty careful, especially the bigger ones, with respect to terminating in New York State as a whole, because it is so fraught with danger from a discriminatory standpoint, from um, a an issue with respect to all sorts of back charges and charges to the EEOC and the state courts and everything else. I imagine that most employers in New York City are already going through just cause analysis, and this will only affect the small guys, the ones that really can't afford these legal bills, and the small businesses, because I don't foresee. I live in a pretty red state. We go through a strong rigmarole with respect to terminations, and most companies do. I don't find that this will be that impactful, but it always causes a little bit of concern for me, because this law started out as a fast food worker bill. Why, in God's name, would you only protect the rights of fast food workers if you truly believe that this was a valuable and necessary thing? What would you gain from that? Wouldn't the obvious solution be to uh, go with all employers? It's a little bit crazy, and it's a little bit frustrating that these city and state governments continuously go after specific industries when these abuses happen across the board and in all industries, right? I think that they're much more rare for example, in the bigger industries and the bigger companies. They do happen, of course. Terminations do happen without just cause in bigger industries, but I think that they're exceedingly rare. So I always find it weird that there was a just cause for fast food workers and not a just cause for factory workers or for uh, for retail workers. It's just the sort of selective nature uh, of these laws is really infuriating and frustrating. Well, what do you think? Will this protect workers' rights in New York City? I will say that I do think that this will probably eventually make New York State a not an at-will state and follow Montana in this regard. I could be wrong, but generally, as the city goes, the state goes. That's it today on Human Resources for the People. Leave a comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day. Bye.